everybody! Welcome back to the Allman household. We've missed you for the last few weeks. We've been on our holidays and no doubt some of you have as well. We hope you enjoyed your time away and got some well-deserved rest. We went up to Scotland. We went up to North Scotland where we enjoyed some beautiful scenery, didn't we?
We went right up to the top, to the most northeasterly and most northern points of Scotland, which was amazing to see.
And we had a little theme tune for the week that seemed to play all the time in the car, didn't it? Eh? I've just come down from the Isle of Skye. I'm no very big and I'm awful shy. The lassies shout as I go by, Donald, where's your trousers? You'll have to forgive us if you're watching from north of the border. We're certainly not wanting to take the mickey out of you, but we love Scotland. We always enjoy going back. We enjoy the beautiful scenery that God has created. We enjoy the warmth of
and
the
we enjoy
people.
the food. I managed to have a smoked sausage supper and some haggis.
Haggis.
And Iron Brew and tablet. Oh, it was lovely. So lovely.
One of the beautiful things that we enjoyed was just being able to drive around some of the most remote roads and see some of the scenery. It's one of those things that the Bible always tells us about pathways. Have you got a Bible verse for us this morning that seems to talk about roads or pathways?
Indeed I do. This is Psalm 16 verse 11. You make known to me the path of life. You fill me with your joy in your presence.
You make known to me the path of life, and you make your joy known to me in your presence. Well, the path of life's been different for you this week, hasn't it?
Yeah.
How's school been? You started back what year?
3.
Year 3 and
Year 6.
year 6. My goodness, so this is your last year, Rosie. So how has it
Only
been?
in primary school.
Yes, in primary school, of course. Yeah, you've got a lot more to go. How's it been, Kate, going back to school?
Well, very confusing because we have to walk all around the playground to entrance the classroom.
That's right.
When we could have gone in the main gate and just walked through the office.
And playtimes are a bit different, aren't they?
Yes, because we've got the field separated and the playground separated.
That's right, you can only
But
play
it's
in
gobbledygook at lunchtime.
Oh,
Yes,
lunchtimes, they're still trying to work that through, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
Because
it's,
one class will always go in the last at 2, and they will get in their class about 2 o'clock, which they miss half an hour learning.
so pick-up times and drop-off times are all a bit we're still trying to work that one out, aren't we? And the new way of doing things as well in school, you know, of trying to keep in your bubbles and keep safe and all that is all very interesting and can be a bit confusing. But it's been good to get back and see your friends and see your teachers, hasn't
and
it?
also the teachers say wherever you see hand sanitizer, you should probably put it on. Wherever you see it, put it on.
That's a good idea, isn't it? Wherever you see one, just put some on.
And that's the health and safety lesson for the day from the Allman girls. It's exactly the same when you come to the army, by the way. This whole idea of new paths and new routes around school, new paths, new roads is something that we face all the time. And that's what we'll be talking about this morning in our meeting. Our meeting's going to take a little bit of a new path as well. During the month of August, we were open for just personal prayer. Well, this morning we start from now on to do much more of a led service at the army. But if you're not able to join us, you can still follow exactly the same Bible address through the podcast. And this morning we're carrying on this whole idea that we're working through the book of Acts. And this morning we start with Paul's first missionary journey there in Acts 13. And that's all about new roads. It's all about new pathways. And we'll be picking up what that meant for Paul and for Barnabas and for John Mark later on in the meeting. We are very conscious that whilst it's a new season and that new things are happening, that there's still some things that we should be praying for and we want to remember and want to try and keep safe. And there's various members of our core at the moment that would certainly appreciate our prayer. So please go to the dispatches and to the prayer focus side of dispatches to find out who you should be praying for this week. It's been good to meet you again, and we're going to carry on doing our little call for worship every Sunday morning, because it's our way of being able to keep in contact with you and you with us. So even though things are changing, we're still going to be throwing this little call to worship on Facebook each week for you to see us and us to be able to contact you. Well, a new week and all those things that it's going to entail, but we do know that God goes with us in all things. Do you have a prayer for us this morning, Katie?
I do. Our Father in heaven, you are awesome. Show us who you are and how you want us to be. Make earth more like heaven. Please give us what we need to keep going each day. Help us to know when we are wrong and clean us up on the inside. Help us to let other people off and move on. Keep us safe from bad stuff. You're in charge. You're strong and powerful and always there forever. Amazing. Amen.
Amen.
You are in charge and powerful and are always there. This week we see 2 funeral services in our call. We think tomorrow of the funeral of Paul Weston at Banbury Crematorium, and we think of Jackie and her family at this time, and we think of Major's Vicar Miriam as they're leading that funeral service tomorrow. And on Wednesday is the funeral service for Mary Capel, and we think of Ruth and her family at this time too.
And we also think of Charlotte, who's her father's funeral on Thursday as well.
3 members of our core folk whose path this week is not an easy pathway, but we know that God is with them. And so whatever you find yourselves doing this week, we pray that God will go with you, and just as Kate said in our little prayer, that you will know the amazing love of God. Well, it's time for us to be starting to head out on the road to the hall this morning.
It's going to be a long day.
Oh.
It's not going to be a long day at all. What do you mean, a
It's a
long
nice positive
day?
We have to wait in the office like about
Okay.
2 hours. Because of
Thank
you
you.
two.
But you'll have Zoom with Talitha, so that's something to look forward to.
True.
So, whatever you find yourself doing today, whether it's good or bad, may you know God with you in every way. So from us,
Bye-bye.
bye.